Welcome to Funky Junk Inspiration. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I would love it if you subscribe to my channel and like, comment, and share each video. Today's playlist is hosted by Take 5, which consists of Mary from The Painted Peach, Jeannie from Jeannie's Palette, and me from Funky Junk Inspiration. We would love it if you'd subscribe to our channels and hit the bell to get notifications when we go live. We have a fantastic lineup for today. All right, my first project that I'm going to do is I cut these 3 pieces of wood out of a 1x4. We have a ghost, we have a cat, and we have a pumpkin. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my ghost painted white. I'm going to do both sides and all around the edges so that is all done. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to get our pumpkin painted, and he looks like a square right now, but we'll make him look more like a pumpkin here in a few minutes. Now I'm just using the same brush because why dirty up another brush, right? And it actually adds a little bit of texture having that white mixed in there. So, and again, I'm going to do all the sides and front and back. Now let's move on to the cat. Of course, we want a black cat for Halloween. Got to get down in this pesky little crack right here. I'm using just plain old chalk paint for the cat. The pumpkin I used Art Deco, I believe it's pumpkin colored. And then the white is also a chalked paint. Now let's get all this dry. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want to distress these a little bit so that they look like a little bit farmhousey, distressed, rustic, whatever you want to call it. So we're just going to sand those down a little bit and pulling some of the wood back up because I really like that look. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on the eyes on the ghosts, and we also need to put some eyes on the cat. And then we're going to put our little, a stick that I found out in the yard. I'm going to cut it so that it's a little bit shorter, and that's what's going to go on top of our pumpkin. This is a fun, quick, easy project you could do with your kids or anybody. Okay, so here we go with the eyes for the ghost. Okay, this should be simple, just little ovals for the ghost's eyes and mouth. I'm just dipping my brush in black and just kind of twirling it to get the roundness, and then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to end up making them kind of oval. But honestly, you really don't have to put eyes on these if you don't want to. It's totally up to you. They would look just fine without any type of embellishment as far as eyes or anything like that. Okay, so the next part, let's work on the mouth. I want him to kind of look like he's saying boo. So I'm going to make a oval mouth real quick. So there we go. I think that looks okay. All right, so now let's work on these other 2. All right, so let's try to do these eyes on this cat. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I had all kinds of trouble with the eyes for the cat. I'm putting the white paint down, and then I want to put a blob of black to kind of, make him look like he's looking one direction. I had so much trouble with this. I just didn't like how it came out, but we'll watch what I did here. I went ahead and left it because, you know, I don't think I'm the only one that has trouble with eyes and worrying about they're gonna look funny or whatever. Okay, so let's jump over here to the pumpkin while the white dries on the cat there, and all I'm doing is hot gluing that stick on top. That's all I'm doing right there. I'm just kind of holding it down. It's a little off screen, I apologize, and it's a little off center. But that's okay. It just adds to the country charm, I think. Okay, so now here we go to put the little black dot. Ended up not being a black dot, it ended up being a black blob. Yada, yada, yada. I just didn't like how the eyes ended up turning out. So what I ended up doing was wiping it off and repainting it. And then I just left it. And then when I was off screen, I ended up making eyes for it, and it looked a little bit better. So, you know, if you don't like something, like we always say, just, you know, paint over it. It's just paint. Wipe it off, sand it off, whatever you got to do. Okay, here I'm going to make us a little bow out of some jute for our pumpkin. First I tried wrapping my little plate over there, and it made it just, the loops just a little too big. So I ended up just using my fingers, and I just went around and around my hand, and then I'm tying it in the middle, and we're going to cut the little stragglers off. There's 4 stragglers there because I took an extra piece and cut in the middle. So it has 4 tails, and I'm going to leave them on there. I think it looks kind of cute. So right here I'm going to glue this bow onto our pumpkin right here, and our pumpkin's going to be cute and adorable right there. Now, you could do all kinds of things. You could stencil on the pumpkin, we could wrap some jute around there, you could put some flowers or whatever. But I really like how this project came out. And like I said, you wouldn't have to put any eyes or mouth or anything. We could put a ribbon on the cat, you know, anything we want to do. It's just a simple, quick, fun, and easy project for Halloween. Now I'm going to go around and I'm going to distress it just a little bit more because we needed to make it look like, you know, it's a little bit antiqued, I guess you could say. So I just took my distressing ink, went around there and did that. So on to DIY number 2. Okay, here is a couple pieces of a 1x4. They're 2 different sizes. I believe I went 6 inches and 5 inches. We got some ribbon and stuff out, and I also have, well, I have raffia there, but I didn't buy raffia. What I bought was the hula skirt from Dollar Tree, and that makes the raffia not be so messy because I have raffia rage. I use what I need out of the package and usually end up throwing the rest away because I just can't get it back in there. But I also pulled out some drop cloth. So we're gonna make a couple hats out of the drop cloth. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get these 2 boards painted black. I'm gonna paint all the sides. Again, I'm using black chalk paint. Alright, so we got those all painted right there. I'm going to dry them and get them, you know, pretty dry. There we go. Now I think that they're pretty dry, so we can move on from there. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get some sandpaper and my little sanding guy, my little gator right here, and we're going to rough up these edges because, of course, again, we want it to look rustic and farmhousey and, you know, that kind of look. Now, if you don't like that look, go ahead and leave them totally black. That looks fine too. But like I always say, you do you. You do what makes you happy and what you like. All right, now that that's all done, now we're going to make a couple hats. Okay, I took the drop cloth, I jumped off camera and went ahead and got them cut because that was kind of boring to watch. So I've got 2 pieces here, and I'm going to take this drop cloth and I'm just going to kind of fold it up because I want it to kind of look like a sock hat type of toboggan on there. And I'm just going to wrap it around the board at the top, and we're just going to glue that down. that's all we're gonna do. Nothing too difficult here. Put a little glue on the back here, and so that it'll stay. I think I went ahead and glued underneath where I lifted that little rim up, or brim, whatever you want to call it there. And now we're going to just wrap the rest of the way around. Right there like that. Very simple. And again, I'm going to do it there just so that it stays folded over and it doesn't, you know, come roll down or something on you. Put a little more glue there and get that all done also. Okay, so the next part that I'm gonna do is, well, I'm gonna go ahead and do this other board right here. I'm gonna do it exactly the same way as I did that one. So while you're watching me do that, I'm gonna thank the hosts again from Take 5, Mary from the Painted Peach, Jeannie from Jeannie's Palette, and myself for putting this playlist together. Take 5 Friday Friends will now be partaking on YouTube, and we'll be doing a playlist each week, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for all of that fun stuff. Now that we've got the two hats on there, got a little wonky thing there, so I cut that off. So now I'm just going to tie the top, put a little tie around it. I'm just going to use a little piece of black jute right here, and we're just going to tie a knot, basically. I think I tied a knot. I might have tied a bow, but I'm just going to tie this just to pull it and scrunch it all together. And it looks like I tied a bow. I'm going to end up doing that on both pieces. Make my little tails approximately the same size. Here we go, doing it on the other one. I also want to thank everybody that joined the playlist with us. We have Nicole from Sparkle Junkies. We have Jeannie from Clifton's Crafty Casa, who also joined us for the playlist. Make sure you watch it, everybody. I'm sure there's a lot of fun and neat inspiration that you'll see. All right, so now we've got the little bows up there. Now I don't want all that extra hanging on the top because that'll cause it to fold over. So we're going to cut that off, and I just picked a spot and cut it. I didn't try to measure or anything like that. Now I have seen, and what I thought was cute also, is the bow down a little bit closer to the wood. That's one way. And I've also seen where they left it a little bit long on top and then cut down so it kind of had fringe up there. So that was really kind of cute too. And if you haven't guessed yet what we're making here, I'd love to know your guests. I don't think I have said in the video yet exactly what we're making here, but you might have seen it at the beginning. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to add a nose and some eyes on our little, if you haven't guessed, it's a crow. Couple little crow friends, or it could be a crow man and wife, or it could just be best buddies, could be brother and sister, whatever you come up with for your story when you are making your project. Okay, so I got some orange out and some white out, because obviously orange we're going to do his beak and the white we're going to do his eyes. And I do apologize, my video keeps focusing and unfocusing. I think it's because my hands go up towards the camera and it tries to focus on my hands. I will do better next time to make sure that that doesn't do that. Now for the little beak, it's just an upside down triangle. Very simple, very easy. Don't overthink it. Just make you a triangle and fill it in. I think we ended up putting 2 coats on there because orange going over black, obviously, you need an extra coat there. So, but you want to let it dry before you try to put the second coat on, because if you don't, you're just pulling paint, you're just moving it around and it's not really getting dry on there. Another thing you could do is we could have painted them white first and then put the orange on, and then the orange would have popped a little bit better rather than being dogged down by the black. but I like how they came out. So now we're gonna do the white circles for the eyes. And here we go again with eyes. Been having a lot of trouble with eyes. I even looked at some videos and looked at some pictures to kind of get some ideas of some eyes, but I feel like I did a little bit better on the little crows here when we get all said and done. And I wanted them to look crazy. I didn't want them to look, you know, perfect. That way they don't have to be perfect. So here I am putting the second coat on. You'll see how much more orange they become with that second coat. So now I'm just grabbing the black, and we're going to put a couple little crazy dots, just a dot. I'm not going to try to do the craziness that I was trying to do before. So now they look like, you know, the crows are having a lot of fun. Right there. And we just got to get that dry. Okay, now I'm going to grab a couple pieces of ribbon that I have. Ended up cutting the pieces in half. This was one of those bundles from Michaels that has a whole bunch of ribbon in it, you know, like 1 or 2 pieces of each kind. And I just grabbed a couple pieces because we just kind of want to put, I don't know if I'd call it a scarf or a bow, but just something so it looks like he has something around his neck. Just to give it a, you know, another dimension type thing. And of course I'm going to grab some of my hula skirt here for a little bit of raffia. I'm just bundling it together, and I'm just going to wrap it around there, and I'm just going to tie it. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to try to do anything fancy or anything like that. So this is another reason that I kind of like the hula skirt for the raffia too, is because it's already straightened out and kind of flat. It's not all crunched up on you and stuff like that. Now if you wanted it to get crunchy after you got it put on, I'm sure there's very easy ways to do that. Just kind of scrunch it up a little bit and make it crazy. But I think that turned out really cute. What do you guys think? Looks like he has a little scarf on. It just gives the crow a neck, so you have like a head and a body, and not just you know, he looked like he's just all a big head, you know. So we're gonna do the second one, same thing, same color of ribbons and all that stuff. Just gonna tie a little knot over here. There we go. We've got a couple cute little crows right here, and I think they turned out really cute. Very simple, very easy. Scrap wood from the barn. It's a 1x4, and again I think I cut them 5 inches and 6 inches. So just some fun projects that you can do with extra wood that you have sitting around. So I want to thank you guys for joining us today for Crafter's Choice with Take 5 and your host, The Painted Peach, Jeannie's Palette, and myself. We appreciate all of you being here and would love it if you guys would subscribe, like, comment, and share our videos. And again, this is Funky Junk Inspirations. Have a good day.